got an event coming up, and for the first time ever, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a tutorial at the event. I'm going to be making certain artworks and doing lessons on how to do stencil art. And for that, I've just got to do a little bit of a sign. So during this little live stream, I'm going to be cutting some stencils, showing you how I cut them, some trade secrets being revealed, a little bit of a general sort of art chat, and then see how the live stream progresses. Let's have a little look. I'm just gonna, so I use a Sharpie and acetate for this. If I'm doing any signs and lettering, I find that is the way to do it. I just trace round exactly where I'm going to cut out, and I'm going to be spraying this sign and lettering onto what I call an A-frame. So it's something that I've made, and it's going to be the sign at the front of my shop. Now, as an artist, I follow a route where I don't use galleries. I don't go through galleries. I represent myself, and the way that I do that is by doing events. And the event that I've got coming up is a folk festival called Purbeck Folk Festival. And we actually did the event last year, fairly successful, but it was crying out really for people wanting to do something during the festival. And one of those things that we thought we'd try is doing a little bit of a tutorial while we're at the event. So I'm just using a Sharpie, I'm tracing around this sign right now, and this is going to be the main mechanism for encouraging people to give stencil art a go. And the designs that I'm going to be spray painting, I'll show you in a minute, just finish this bit off, at the event are 3 of my best sellers. So we're going to have this, which is this little robin artwork. So I'm going to be making that during the event. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a live stream from that event as well. Also, I'm going to be doing this, which is my little bee design as well. Hi Leo, how we doing? How's things? I'm from Britain, England, the southwest, and I'm a spray paint artist. Welcome to my studio. This is some of the paints that I use, and I'm just showing you how I do my stenciling. And I'm just doing some sign work where basically, trade secrets, I use an acetate and I lay this over the top of the whatever I'm stenciling. In this case, it's a sign, and then I just cut round, trace round, and I'm going to be showing you how I cut them as well with burning. Oh, great emojis coming through. Thank you very much. Cheers, Melanie. Yeah, really nice comments coming through. I'm going to be showing my different artwork. This is beautiful on the wood. This is always, when I show this one, when I do my streams here on YouTube, this is always a firm favourite. So this is all done by hand with stencils and spray paints. I'm the Stencil Shed, by the way. My name's Sid, I'm the artist. Do give me a subscribe at the top just there. It'd be fantastic if you guys could do that right now. And they're all handmade onto beautiful, sustainably sourced wood. And I do, obviously that's my art, but my channel is all about having fun really. So I'm always looking at ways of doing wacky things with spray paints and coming up with novel ideas and videos that should be entertaining. Particularly my shorts feed. So give me a little look up and have a little scroll around and check out my shorts feed, where I've had some great success actually with spray paints, but also over when it's cold here in the UK, what I do is I defrost windscreens of cars with de-icer and make silly faces. So those have had millions and millions of views on there. So do give me a look up and a subscribe, and then check out some of my shorts and some of my longer videos that I do that. Now someone said actually, so the de-icer that I use, basically I do smiley faces. And my daughter, who's 12, and I wasn't aware of this, I bought her something called a Labubu, which is, anyone heard of those out there? Melanie, heard of a Labubu? And unbeknown to myself, a lot of my designs, particularly with the kind of gnarly teeth, look like the little Labubus. So yeah, that's cool, isn't it? So what I'm doing is gradually tracing around this design here. I'm going to be cutting this as well in a minute. I'll also do a little studio tour in a second. I'm just going to work out how exactly to do that. I'm going to just finish tracing this off, do a little bit of a tour around the studio, show you some of my different artwork. I'm the artist. I make all these designs by hand. Every single one is different. I just happen to use wood. I mean, check out that beautiful squirrel, and I've carved that into the yeah, they are ugly dolls, aren't they? That's exactly what I said when my daughter came home with one after I gave her the money for it. I'm like, what? Why on earth would you want a Labubu? But yeah, she went for it. Yeah, now I didn't realise it was such a craze online, the whole Labubu thing. So yeah, that's a lot of my sort of de-icer artworks. This is what I'm going to be spraying this onto this little A-frame in a bit. So I'm going to do all this during the live feed. I just thought, as I've not done anything on YouTube for a little while, let's do a little live feed and see what happens. If you're watching right now, do hit subscribe, like the live, give it a share. Isla, yes, you subbed. How we doing? How's things? So yeah, any art questions you've got, do give me a shout as well on that. I've been professional artist for, well, since 2014, I've done it full time. So over 10 years now. And it's a long slog to get to this point, but you've got to be determined with what you do, be persistent, be consistent, come up with a way of presenting your art which is unique, and that's why I use spray paint stencils onto wood. And let me go and show you my studio. I've almost just finished tracing around this, which I'm going to cut out in a moment. There we go. I've actually been on holiday for a couple of weeks, so there we go. We're going to turn this around like that. So this is my studio. You can see all the different designs here. It's actually on a farm where I rent this space, not my farm. But then I've got these big sort of things up here like that. Would you spend $16,000? Yeah. Yeah, so I started doing this, I started spray painting when Banksy first came on the scene. He's actually based probably about 25 miles. So it's quite exciting when that all kicked off 20 odd years ago. My dad's an artist, so spray paint, doing art stuff has always been in my blood, although he's a sculptor. And then I started experimenting, doing large things like this on buildings. You can see here now, this is all like purpose built for spray painting just here. You can see all my different paints just on the side, just like that. And then down here, like I said, I've just been away on holiday actually. So we've got a lot of the camping kit down here all ready to go. But that's real life for you. So this is a lot of the artworks that are in the preparation stage. So ones like this, really cool, kind of mashups just like that. And then we've got like these VW TIE fighters as well. And as I said, they're all done with spray paint, it's all handmade. I do live streams where this was done in an hour, like a mad sort of orangutan, just like that. So yeah, I did a little live stream for that. And then we've got big ones up here. So we've got the big Groot, we've got David Attenborough, we've got a huge lion. I do spray paint festivals also. I've got one of those at the end of August, which I'm going to be doing. So yeah, let me just go and check. So I'm just going back. This is what I've been doing, was tracing around here. And let me go. The way that I burn them as well is with this, which is basically like a hot knife, just like that. And you just go around there and sort of cut it out. Yeah, I've got these smaller Groots as well, just like that, down here. So I do, the reason I do Groots, and I've always done a sort of kind of, it's my own like little Groot design, I'm going to take him into the light, just like that, is because all my artwork is onto beautiful pieces of wood. So Groot just really makes sense as a character to do, obviously because he's wooden. Right, so there we go. And that's how they hang, they just sort of slip on the wall like that. This is about half my sort of current range. So yeah, this is, I'll kind of set this up for when I do the live streams, just like that. Let me go and clip you back on here, spin you around. That's me, by the way. I mean, one or two of you might have seen, I'm going to spin this round again for one sec. This is my kind of famous, this is, also along with the de-icer defroster. This is where I spray paint my cans like that, and it creates this sort of mad drip. And I did a few videos about it. We're calling it the old man's giant spray ball bag, and then the elephant's foot from Chernobyl. But it's kind of turned into this artwork in itself. So who'd be known? So that's one of my most viral viral things that I've done as well. Often you find with the internet, it's not the things you plan, it's the things you don't plan that that go sort of mad like that. Right, okay, let me go and have a little look, see if I can just set something up. Can I set goals up on this live? Start a poll. Okay. All right, okay, chat filters, community moderation, I don't need any of that. Right, my little hot knife, which I've just plugged in, should be getting on now. I've not turned it on at the socket. Let me go and do that just over here like that. That's going to be better. And you'll probably be able to see things a bit more. Let me go and show you a few more bits and pieces. So this is like some really like old pieces that I've done from back in the day. Yeah. I'm quite sort of organised with what I do. This is like my list of things to do before I had my holidays. So we go through and make them all done by hand. Got some of my older designs like this like flying corgi from when the Queen died here in the UK. There's a picture of the Queen with a rather interesting crown which relates to my hometown. I do these like beautiful sort of thoughtful designs like this little tree and the old man ball sack. Yeah, you got it. If you check out and give me a subscribe and then go and if what you do is just filter by most popular sort of video, he comes up in about the first 3 or 4, and I've done 2 videos related to that really sort of took off. So a lot of people, I think I've got over 3,000 followers just from the old man's paint. Well, I don't want to say it out too loud because I don't want to get over moderated on here. But yeah, you check it out. It's all very tongue in cheek. So yeah, as an older artist here on YouTube, late 40s. So yeah, I'll say no more. I'm going to dig myself too much of a hole here like that. So things are starting to cook up a little bit here in Stencil Shed Towers, and this hot knife is just burning through. So what I've did earlier in this live stream, I've traced round every single letter, and I'm going to be cutting them out gradually and then just spray painting onto this board. And this is for a festival that I've got coming up, and I thought, what the hell, let's do a little live stream, have a little chat, see what's going on out in the world of YouTube. I've tried live streaming on other social networks and actually sell quite well through this sort of medium. There is a sort of facility on here. Bye, Melanie. Thanks for dropping in. Much appreciated. You take it easy. Thanks for all the nice comments. You're an absolute legend. I think I can actually see if I can pin a few bits. So we've got stuff like that on there. So has that come up on your screen just now? It should do. So what I do is I take the template away. I don't really need that anymore. Chuck that over there. Sorry, that was just for theatrical effect. I'll probably use that as in the winters as a fuel to start my burner here in the studio, just like that. And put that over there for the meantime. And then this is you can just about see it, where I've cut it out, and this is going to be the stencil. Anyone keen on stenciling and wanting to learn, I used, certainly for lettering, maybe not for my outdoor pieces, it's going to be more sort of card. I use acetate, and then I use this, which is basically, it just burns through. This is so satisfying. And each letter, I just go around like that. This is the S. And then I'm going to be holding this up, and then basically it gets it to about 1,000 degrees. And you should just be able to see, that's the S I've gone round. You take it out like that, and there you've got the template ready to go. So that is, in essence, how I cut the stencils for this sort of job. Now, if I'm going to be doing something on a bigger scale, if I'm going to be using a one-shot stencil, I might move to card and paper. So these are all tips that I've sort of learned over the years. And then from this, I'm going to spray it onto a piece of wood towards the end of the live stream. And I'll do it with an effect which is called a drop shadow. So a drop shadow is basically you spray a colour and then you move the stencil just like that. Oh, Melanie, yeah, no problem, sir. You'll keep it up. Yeah, well, this is it. You never know who's watching here on YouTube, do you? It sort of goes all the way around the world, other than different to kind of other networks that I use. So yeah, inspiring a lot of people's good. I've always sort of had my own heroes that got me going sort of in the art world. Certainly, like when I was a kid, my dad's an artist, he's a sculptor, so it was great to be sort of around him when I was growing up. So he's certainly one of my heroes. I'm actually going out with him tonight. He's 86 now, and 86, he doesn't really work much at all, but he's still got his studio in the back of his garden, which he goes to and potters around when he feels sort of well enough. But he does these amazing sculptures using clay. Now he also basically specialised in animals. So the work that I sell on the pieces of wood, and there should be some pin to this live stream, they're all animals and wildlife. I'm going to come and just show you what I've been doing in one sec. So this is what I've just been cutting round. So it's the first world, and I've kind of burnt it off, and then these just flick off like that, and it's creating the stencil gradually that I'm going to be spraying onto the sign over there. So yeah, we just take that out, put it like that, and it should just come out. And if it doesn't come out, I'll just cut it again. So it's the sort of job that I can do while I'm here on this live stream. But yeah, as I said, I specialise in animals, wildlife, and you can see this here is one of my pieces, which is all done with stencils as well. Then within a layer, I'm going to be sort of layering up loads of different colours. So yeah, really happy with that butterfly. You see the shadowing on there, that gives it its depth. Right, I've just got to go around a couple of the letters, and I'm actually burning onto glass. So I've tried different sort of surfaces to burn onto, but if you burn onto glass, it works really well as a medium with the hot knife that I use as well. So these are all trade secrets. You know, it's all out there, it's all information that's out there, and I've tried lots of different things. But my feeling on it is it's all right to give away some of these secrets, because you still got to go away and do it, and you still got to go away and master it. And that's taken me a good number of years to do this sort of professionally. Even to set up this studio as such, took me a fair while. So you've got to get all the equipment together and then have the space to do it. And it's a slow sort of build to get to any point with anything in life. I'm just concentrating when I'm cutting around the stencil, just like that. And I was definitely inspired by different graffiti artists back in the day. Banksy uses stencils, and that's what got me going. But if you go through my feed and just look for some of my street artwork, I don't use stencils for my outdoor pieces. They're more like big paintings. I find if you've got to cut big stencils for outdoor sort of work, it becomes quite traumatic and boring. So yeah, I'm more of a freehand painter for the outdoor work. I'm lucky enough to do this full time. Unlucky enough or lucky enough to be also work with my wife. No, but definitely lucky. So it's a bit of a family sort of business and enterprise. Yeah, this is just the stencils that I'm cutting out for the word art for this sign. And then I'm just going to be going on to the next phase of this, which is the word workshop. Right, okay. And I'm just going to do that now. Any questions, give me a shout out on there. Any subscribers dropping in. Any of my recent videos you've watched, do let me know. I've done one or two random ones. I do sort of stuff to do with business as well. Can you make money from art, for example? And then just sort of showcases how I do it at events rather than galleries. And I've done a really nice video. I sell at festivals. So my big festival that I sell at, oh sorry, just gone a little bit off the mark there because I was chatting, not looking at the camera. Silly me, there we go, that's better. You can always salvage it with a bit of blue tape at the end. The big festival that I do, and it takes up, believe it or not, probably 2 months of my life every year, is Glastonbury Festival. And I've got a big art gallery where I show my work there, but it takes me at least 4 weeks to get there, to make all the stuff. And then it probably takes me a month or so to recover from it at the end. So what I'm doing here, this is basically a hot knife. My name's Stencil Shed, I'm an artist. And I trace round some lettering, and then gradually, this is acetate, and I'm burning through the plastic to create a stencil. And on this live stream at the end, I'm going to be spraying the stencil and showing you it, and it's just some lettering. I also use this same effect to make artwork on wood like this. So yeah, this is all my own sort of art onto pieces of wood, just like that. Hi Lily Brush, hi brother from Lily Brush yet. Hope you subscribe. Do give me a subscribe, do like this feed, give it a little share as well. I'll let you into a little secret. I wasn't planning on doing this live stream at all. I basically just turned the phone on and went, so I've not really even got a microphone sorted. But I think sometimes it's nice not to go with a highly edited and highly organised live feeds. I've got a plan actually brewing where I'm going to be doing a live stream where I'm doing live spray painting over like an hour period. And maybe portrait work. Sometimes it's, you know, when big bereavements happen as well, maybe some of my fans, people that I look up to maybe pass away. I'm going to be doing things off the cuff as they happen on live streams, spray painting them, and then just doing it in a very, sometimes when you make artwork, it's all to order almost, it's all to sell. But I want to do live streams where it's not to necessarily sell, it's just because it's a fun thing to do. I used to struggle cutting stencil with a blade, but I enjoyed seeing the finished product. Makes work easier. Yes, Isaac, yes. Using a blade sometimes, obviously with the blade you can flick on and cut yourself. I've seen other artwork, I've tried with a blade, and I sometimes use it for kind of more one-off pieces, or if I'm trying to do something in an environment where I know there's going to be a bit of wind, for example, and it gives you a stiffer surface to spray through. But I find in acetate and the burner kind of works pretty well. So this is what I've just been cutting. This is the word workshop, and I'm going to be spraying this towards the end of the live stream. And basically these letters just come out like that. And I'm going to be doing a drop shadow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray one colour, move the stencil a couple of millimetres, and then spray again. And that'll give this really nice sort of 3D effect, is the plan anyway. So there we go. That's two of the words sort of cut out. And let me just see what time it is. We've got the last word to come just here. I'll do a quick tour of the studio, actually. There we go. So a wood burner is what's best for that. Yes, so I've tried lots of different things, yes. So I've also got down here, and this is more what I use. In fact, if you give me a subscribe, this is a pyrography tool as well, which I just bought off, I think it was off Amazon. And I use that on a lot of my artwork just to get this texture just in here, and it's just a way of burning through the paint. Now, you can only use one of those, obviously, when you're using wood as a canvas. Well, I suppose you could try it on other things like slate. But if you're going to use a hot knife directly onto a canvas, like one of these guys just here, these are some of my canvases just all tucked away. You're going to burn it, aren't you? So yeah, it kind of works on sort of wood like that. This is my studio, by the way. This is where I do all the spray painting. I'm currently on a bit of a holiday at the moment, but I just thought I'd do a sneaky live stream. This is the old man's spray paint ball bag, just look like that. I was showing this off earlier in the live stream, so apologies for anyone who saw me earlier, but this is one of my most viral sort of fun things. So this is where I test the spray caps like that, and you can see all the paint just sort of dripping down. And over time, it creates this mad kind of, yeah, old man spray paint ball bag is what I call it, to be honest. Here is something that I'm going to be doing. This, when I'm doing these workshops, which is what I'm doing this sign for over here, I'm going to be getting people to make these. This is going to be over the weekend. I'm going to do a little live stream as well of the actual tutorials, which should be fun. And basically, I'm going to just test this for the first time on here. I'm going to just weight this down with a bit of... This is how, basically, I weight the stencil down like that. You can't see the stencil on there because it's clear at the moment because I've not used it before. Then you adjust the sort of placement. And I'm hoping I've got... I'm going to have to use dark grey, actually, because I've not actually got any black at the moment. But then this will just go on top like that. Let me see if I've got a bit of black I can use out of that. And you'll see what I'm doing in a minute. That's what I'm going to be. It's actually an old design, which I've revisited. Like that. Take the nails off. So yeah, it's quite a simple design, this one, but it's for other people to make during one of my little actual physical tutorials. So there we go, nice little stormtrooper with antlers on a little tile, just like that. There we go. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be up to at the tutorial. I'm going to put that over there. That was pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Right. So let me go and just switch this around like that. Do give me a subscribe right now. My name's Sid. I'm a professional artist based here in the United Kingdom, in the southwest, in a beautiful town called Malmesbury. Give it a Google. It's all very picture perfect sort of town. I'm the only guy that really does the spray painting around here. I kind of use wood as my canvas. I do lots of fun things. I've got lots of fun videos. One of my most viral videos or things that I do is I use frost. It's a bit of a random one. I use frost, and from there I kind of paint these smiley, I'm just concentrating a little bit, faces onto car windscreens and do fun silly things like that. So check me out, give me a subscribe, go and look at my most popular videos. You'll see they've got loads of views. Just saw a comment come through from, I can see you are passionate. Yeah, definitely. You've got to be. I've just had a holiday, so just had 2 weeks off as well. So I'm kind of fired up again. Like anything, if you do it day in, day out, you know, you do get tired. You have a couple of days off. You give it 2 weeks, then I'm itching to get back here. It's probably why I've done this live stream, because it's nice to connect with my audiences. I'm really going to be going for it in the next 18 months here on YouTube. I've actually had a YouTube account for 17 years. Posted a few things on there when YouTube first came out, when I was first going through. So go down and look at my oldest videos. You'll see me with a bit more hair than this as well. Then really stopped using YouTube really until I started discovering video on other platforms, and then developing editing skills, which meant I was able to come back to YouTube with a little bit more finesse. So I think the technology kind of caught up there. I didn't have to buy all the equipment, and I didn't have to hire someone to do the editing. I can do it all myself. And that's why, I mean, I've had nearly 10,000 subscribers just this year, which is fantastic. So yeah, really pleased with that. So you can see why I'm getting back into YouTube. Let's have a little look at Isaac. So if you use wood as your canvas, does that mean you can't do large? Yeah, so I do some canvas work. So let's have a little look. Yeah, this one I've showed on live streams before. So this is like a large kingfisher on a canvas, but also on a large scale as well. I'll show you that a bit better now. Look, you can see it. So yeah, that's kind of, you can't really see the head of it. But yeah, that's a sort of large one on canvas. But again, I've not got my mic, so 1 second. I do these larger designs here, like this is like a big Stonehenge. So you can see I'm using a large piece of wood, and I'm come up with a design. This is pretty cool because I've like graffitied out the stones on that, just like that. So yeah, I do some large ones on wood. Put that back. Right, I'm getting closer to actually spray painting this sign on here. Let's just figure out the best way of doing this actually. So I'm going to move this down here like that. So this is what I've been cutting out during this live stream. Pop that back on there. I'm just going to be taking out. So just hold on for a second. I'm going to be. This is a sign basically, sort of sign work. So nothing dramatic like the artwork on the wood, but it's great to, if I'm going to be doing something that's a sign for an event, it's better to use my skills as a stencil artist than paying someone else to do a sign for me. Yes, thank you very much, yeah. Right, we can put that on there. Oh, crikey, it's starting to rain a little bit here. So we get this. I'm just going to stick that on there. Thankfully it fits. Like that. And I can just see a bit there. I just need to tidy up an edge. So if you want to get a tight edge, I just use a little bit of tape and then put that over where there's a little bit of a burn mark to give me that tight edge. I'm going to start with a light brown. Like that. And over the top, I'm going to put a darker brown. So what I do, spray that on, and then just move it a couple of millimeters, like that. I'm just going to take the bottom to stop it moving as well. Cameo, what even is that? Cameo. Is that something digital? I've only ever cut stencils by hand, so I always find, I know there's sort of do it. Find a dark colour just here. Then I'm going to use a dark brown on here, like this. And then just concentrating a little bit. What I don't want to do is overspray onto the white, although if I did, that's fine. I'll just spray it back with a bit of white, but hopefully as I'm a pro, there'll be no overspray. Right, now, this is always the fun part. There we go. Pretty happy with that. Let me go and show you with the, I'll just reverse the camera. Whoop. And then down here, whoop, reverse it again. There we go. So this is the drop shadow I'm talking about. So basically I sprayed the brown like that and then just moved it 2 millimeters. And obviously if you move it anywhere, the whole stencil shifts. That's why I didn't do this stencil in 2 parts. Having it all together means when I move it and spray it again, and I'm going to be making these at the actual workshop. I'm going to have this, just like that. So this is something you're going to be able to make a bee and a little stormtrooper. There we go. So I'm quite looking forward to doing it. I'm going to use that stencil again. This is how my artworks hang. They've all got a little drill hole like that. They go up on the wall. Spin it round. So yeah, do give me a subscribe, hit me up. My name's Sid, I'm a spray paint artist, use stencils, freehand, all different mediums. I'm just doing a little bit of signage. This is a bit of an off-the-cuff sort of live stream, unplanned. Didn't even have a microphone, to be honest. Just, sometimes it's best just to turn the phone on and go for it, isn't it? like that. Pull that back just there, like that. It's starting to rain out there. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a rain dance because it's hardly rained in my hometown for months, so we're crying out for it. There we go. Right. I'll look up that cameo if you're there still, Isaac. Never heard of that. I'm just spraying the brown on here like that. See if I can get this. This is either going to work or not. It'll probably make this slightly blurrier, but yeah, here we go. There's the brown going on. I'm just going to move that just a couple of inches, a couple of millimeters, and spray another layer. And I'm going to bring the camera back. Something like that. And switching the paint to this darker brown. I'm just going to be spinning this round again. So if you like spray painting onto wood, if you like live streams, talking about art, that sort of thing, then do give me a subscribe right now. Do give me a like on this feed as well. I do these live streams where I'm kind of just going through some of the basics. I do longer videos as well. I've got one in the edit where I'm... anyone remember Jaws from the Bond films back in the day? I spray painted a life-size Jaws. So random things like that, just for a local fun event. I'm just going to go, it doesn't really matter, with as long as you get the thickness there, whether you go up or down with a spray can. You see, I don't want to overspray there onto that edge, so angle the can back. And then that avoids that problem, just a bit in there. Okay. Right. I'm going to just whip this away quickly. There we are. So yeah, that's just some basics of stenciling and how it's done. So yeah, great you could join me on this live feed. Do hit me with a subscribe. Take care, everyone. And thanks, Isaac, for your interactions as ever. And I shall catch you all. Even Bill says goodbye, an animal over there. And see you on the next one. Take it easy. Wish me luck for the event. Cheers. Bye.